Warhammer 40K, 9th edition. What about just saying no? Saying enough is enough and going back to playing 8th edition, or what always seems to happen, especially with veteran players in a change of a new edition, going back to 40K 5th edition. That's what we're going to explore, and that's the question we're going to ask, because this is a very unique time in 40K, not only with a new edition literally dropping, literally has arrived, literally playing at this moment, fantastic models, new opportunities, but also given the unique nature of 40K of how dynamic it is, making that choice, some pros and some cons and some things to keep in mind, not only with every edition change, but the eternal question for me in the Grimdark narrative, getting the most out of your models. So certainly what we see is based on GW's business model. Their business model is to sell models. They are not a rules company. I mean, we see this distinction where other companies that sell rules. Perfect example: Chain of Command, World War II historicals. The profit is in the rules. You can use whatever World War II miniatures you want. GW, much like X-Wing miniatures, Fantasy Flight, it's in selling you the stuff. So it is in their interest, make no mistake. And the duality is, this is kind of a good and bad thing. Make no mistake, they're not there to offer you a stable rule set. Their rule sets need to be constantly evolving and changing, forcing you to readjust, realign, and buy more stuff. But on the positive side, being fair with that type of business model and approaching it with every new edition, and within the walls of those editions, you're getting constant new models, new kits, new opportunities for your army. So it's definitely not static. There's new stuff rolling out. And of course, that sidebars into Titanicus, Blackstone Fortress, other types of games to explore in that grimdark narrative. So it's natural to have this feeling. The challenge with going back and playing another rule set, and we see this return to 5th a lot, because in many players' eyes, that was the pinnacle of Games Workshop being competitive and trying to actually balance their system. And it was somewhat balanced, but they realized there's no money to be made in balance. You need imbalance. It's very like chaos. There's a lot of chaos feeling to it. But ultimately, let's look at this scenario. You're part of a big gaming group, or you're part of an established gaming group at a store, 5, 8, 10, 12 players. You're getting together every week, you're rolling some dice, you're playing 40K, or maybe a slightly smaller scenario, basement battle reports, 3, 4, 5 friends getting together on a Friday night to hang out and roll some dice. I played 40K like that for a good 15 years before moving to that club experience. The challenge, if you go back to a previous edition or you stay locked in 8th edition, the creativity is dead. The creativity is stifled in that you're locked in. You're not going to get any updates. As Games Workshop adds new rules, and as they add new models, how are you going to incorporate those models into a previous edition? A lot of the rules are similar. You can make that crossover, but the very stability that you're trying to approach, the very stability that you're looking at maintaining over time as it evolves, because it's going to happen. I mean, this is what would happen when we would play basement battle reports. We play once a week. You didn't want to lose, because if you lost, then I had to hear about it all week. And in fairness, if you lost, you heard it from me all week, taunting you. But I would lose on a Friday. Saturday, I would go to the hobby store, make the appropriate secret purchases, build them on Sunday, get them tabletop, 3 colors, base, wash, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, check out the rules, roll out Friday, show up with some new toys to play. And I wouldn't tell you. So this natural competitiveness and fun of surprise of introducing new models, you're going to have a hard time incorporating them. You're going to have a hard time pulling them in if you stay frozen in an edition. You're also a little bit divorced from the community. As the community, both YouTube and forums and blogs, come up with new tactics, new ideas, you're going to be hard-pressed to incorporate them. But I understand the feeling. I mean, I felt this with X-Wing miniatures, right? Where they kill off. I mean, Fantasy Flight's known for killing off editions. It's almost like when you buy into a game or a system, you know they're going to kill it, just like Games Workshop. I understand the frustration, and I have multiple armies that I enjoy playing just based on longevity in 40K. And this is nothing new. I've been through 9 editions so far. I understand that you have your army, you love how it plays, you have your models, and all of that has been disrupted on purpose and has been realigned. So now things are not going to work the way they worked before. We talk about this idea of a player personality, just what you like about 40K, what you like on the tabletop. I like bolt pistols and chainswords and running across the table, and you can have your sci-fi alien tech and space elf magics and Necron robotics, undead space robot robotics and space bugs. I'm going to have that martial glory and put you to the chainsword or the chain axe. So if that's what I'm invested in, and my Berserkers of Scalathrax is, and now, well, first of all, Assault was never very good, but let's say Assault was king, and now Games Workshop turns that on its head in a new edition because they want to sell new models and force you to buy stuff. I get that. You've been disrupted. Your player personality, what you enjoy, has been disrupted. But I would recommend slowly working through that disruption. There's going to be elements that you can preserve. There's going to be elements in your player personality. And believe me, I'm not trying to sell GW, because there's a lot of things, it's love and hate. A lot of things I love, a lot of things I do not love. I'm playing through various editions and playing through the years. And it's more the community that keeps me going than just GW corporate from that perspective. But you're going to be able to adapt a lot of your tactics and keep a lot of your things. But most importantly, and this is the key, because it's never obvious at the beginning of an edition, because GW favors Space Marines and really building that momentum. Based on your player personality, there are going to be new options in the game opening up over the next 6 to 8 months. So I would at least say to myself, if it's possible, I'm going to jump into the new edition. And I'm not going to worry about win or lose. I'm not going to worry about making hard decisions right now. I got to sell my army, or 80% of my army is now worthless, junk, competitive. Just look, because there's going to be new opportunities in the rules, in the kits, in the models, in the units, in the supplements, in everything that are going to roll out very fast that you might enjoy. You might say, hey, this is awesome. That would be my recommendation. I would say plan to go with 9th, just because it's going to be new tech, new toys, and most importantly, the reason why I hope you're listening to these vlogs, why I hope you're enjoying YouTube channels, why I hope you're playing 40K in the first place, is so that we can sit down, you and I, roll some dice, have some fun, build that community. If you lock yourself in a previous edition of 40K, you're going to be somewhat locked out of the community. So roll for it for now. Don't make any crazy decisions, yes or no. Play some games, keep an open mind, and realize that, and this is true of every launch model of Games Workshop, all previous editions. It launches, and the next 6, 8, 9 months, tremendous momentum. Then you're going to have the stability of the game. Then you're going to realize this is what this edition of 40K is going to be defined. This is what are going to be the defining moments of it. And from there, a decision could be made.